From the beginning of OTB, we have worked really hard at doing things differently. I mean, that's why it's called Outside the Box.
We want to have a way to explain to people what we already do and a way to address, the kind of issues that we feel like we're addressing in the day program and in the employment services program and in the studio program at OTB. Because there are people that believe that adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities don't have the same capacity to learn as you and I might have. We said, what kinds of things are they not being taught from day one?
For many of them, society hasn't really expected much.
For me, it was very different because I wasn't really taught very much of anything until I was about 10 or older.
The doctors often say at the very beginning, your child will never do this or they will never do that. And so when there's an assumption that society or a system will care for an individual, there is not an expectation that they would learn everything that any other child born into this world would learn.
So unfortunately, I kind of missed a lot of things that my peers had available to them until I was a little bit much older than them.
We need to go back and give everybody the opportunity to learn the things they need to learn. Not only to take care of themselves, but to learn to take care of each other, and beyond that, to become the very best person that they would possibly want to be.
It really starts with Maslow's hierarchy of needs as a foundation. So taking a look at different modules of learning that are impediments to success in the community, impediments to self-actualization.
The first one being your very basic physiological needs. Some very basic things like breathing and what you should be putting in your body to fuel yourself.
So they're learning what their body does, they're learning what digestion is.
When you look at the leading causes of death for folks with developmental disabilities, things like dehydration, constipation. Theoretically, the approach is you can't go to the next step until you learn the basics, and so the basics would be something that we would cover 3 times a year.
They're on a rotation, so you'll do a month of survival, then a month about security, then a month about social, and then self-wealth, and then you do that throughout the year.
So taking a look at security needs, safety needs, social needs, self-wealth needs, and saying how can we address those barriers and what can we do to allow someone to be more successful in their lives.
Outside the Box is definitely a great place for me to continue to learn on how to cope and how to do those things that are going to be beneficial for me to do better as I deal with things and interact with other people and any other skills that I need to learn.
Even though there are a lot of people out there that say you can't do this and you're not able to learn these things, we're saying with a little extra help and a little continued education, we can continue to move through these steps on a rotating basis.
My hope is that this curriculum gives people excitement for coming. What are we learning about this week? What are we learning about this month?
I think if you fast forward a year from now, you will see much more meaningful outcomes for folks because they've learned that they have the resources to be someone.
And a real opportunity for them to kind of look internally and say, I can be whatever it is that I want to be, and I have this organization that will support me in figuring out what that is and then making it happen.
Just the fact that Outside the Box continues to try new things shows that you're not willing to give up on us.